Imagine sailing across the Atlantic and spotting a ship drifting silently on the horizon. Its sails partly set, its wheel gently turning, but no one standing at the helm. No footsteps. No voices. No crew. Just a lonely vessel rocking in the waves. This is the story of the Mary Celeste, the most famous ghost ship in all of maritime history. The journey began on November 7, 1872, as the brigantine Mary Celeste set sail from New York City. Captain Benjamin Briggs, experienced, respected, and known for his discipline, commanded the ship. With him were his wife Sarah, their little daughter Sophia, and 7 trusted crew members. Everything looked normal. The ship was healthy. The weather manageable. The cargo, 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, was securely loaded. Captain Briggs even wrote a cheerful letter before departure, saying he felt positive about the voyage. For the first several days, nothing suggested disaster. But somewhere between New York and the Azores Islands, something changed. On December 4, 1872, nearly a month later, sailors aboard another vessel, the Dei Gratia, noticed a ship drifting oddly across the water. It wasn't sailing with purpose. It wasn't anchored. It simply wandered. As they approached, they read the name on the bow, Mary Celeste. A boarding team climbed aboard, expecting chaos or wreckage. But what they found was far worse. A perfect ship, with no people. The sails were damaged but usable. The cargo untouched. The crew's belongings neatly stored. Food supplies still abundant. No blood. No struggle. No signs of a fight. No damage to the hull. But the lifeboat was gone. It looked as though everyone had calmly stepped off the ship and never came back. The world exploded with questions. Why abandon a perfectly good ship? Newspapers went wild. Sailors argued in taverns. Investigators, scientists, and storytellers each created their own explanations. Some said pirates, but nothing was stolen. Others said mutiny, but there was no violence. A few even blamed sea monsters or supernatural forces. But the ship was in excellent condition. The Mary Celeste was a ghost ship, but not a magical one. So what really happened? Let's examine the most believable theory. The industrial alcohol explosion scenario. 9 barrels in the cargo hold were found empty, likely due to slow leakage of fumes. These fumes could create a dangerously explosive environment. Enough to terrify any captain, especially one with his wife and child on board. Panicked, Briggs might have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily, planning to return once the fumes dispersed. They tied the lifeboat to the ship. They waited. Perhaps the wind picked up. Perhaps the rope snapped. The Mary Celeste drifted forward, caught by the wind, while the lifeboat drifted in the opposite direction. Powerless, panicked, and watching their only ship disappear, the crew was stranded on open water. The ocean can be cruel like that, a tiny mistake turning into a deadly fate. Another theory suggests Briggs believed the ship was taking on water. Investigators found one of the pumps broken and in rough seas. This could have convinced him the ship was sinking. Again, temporary evacuation, wrong decision, tragic outcome. Others say he misread navigation instruments, thinking land was closer than it was. But all realistic theories share the same ending. The crew planned to return to the ship. Something prevented them, and the Mary Celeste drifted away without them. It's easy to forget that this wasn't just a mystery, it was a personal tragedy. Captain Briggs, a respected sailor. His wife Sarah. Little 2-year-old Sophia. 7 hard-working seamen. 10 souls lost. No lifeboat ever recovered. No bodies washed ashore. No clues ever found. Families waited months, then years, then decades. Nothing ever came. The silence became the legend. The Mary Celeste became world famous. Writers exaggerated it. Conspiracy theorists loved it. Even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle used it as inspiration for a dramatic story that helped cement its ghostly reputation. But the real mystery remains simple and haunting. What moment convinced 10 people to leave a safe ship? There was no storm, no attack, no threat visible. Just a decision, a rope, a shift in the wind, and a ship that continued drifting, while the people who once walked its deck slowly vanished into the endless sea. The Mary Celeste reminds us that the ocean doesn't need monsters or pirates to create a tragedy. Sometimes, the deadliest things at sea are miscalculations, misunderstandings, or a single desperate choice.